If you want to build a successful copywriting business, you have to be able to lock in clients and turn them into yearly salaries, business that's actually going to stay month after month after month, year after year after year, and in a way that's predictable. So you have consistent and reliable income, so you can actually have a good standard of living and provide a good life for yourself, but also for the people around you. Then, if you want to do all of that, you have to be able to onboard a client the right way because you can't retain a client, you can't upsell a client, you can't do all of that other good stuff that you want further down the line if you can't onboard a client in the right way. Okay, because every time someone spends money, they have what's called buyer's remorse. Okay, they feel the pain of that money leave their account, they feel the regret. It doesn't matter if they buy a brand new car that they wanted. It doesn't matter if you buy a Coca-Cola at the shop, there's still that buyer's remorse. Yes, it's on different levels, but no matter what, no matter who you are, there's some form of buyer's remorse. Okay, especially when you're investing in someone new, taking a risk, because that's what business owners are doing by working with you. They are taking a risk. So today we're going to talk about how to onboard a client the right way, so that the next time you onboard a client, you know that you can do it in a way that's going to lead to future work, consistent and reliable income. And so you've actually got a process that you can just use this video today to build your own onboarding and just get this done in the most automated and efficient way possible. Okay, so obviously, when does onboarding start? Okay, the sales call has just closed. You've just been on Zoom, you've agreed the terms of agreement, you're ready to get rolling. Now the real work starts. Okay, but before you leave this sales call, the first thing you need to do is set expectations. So look, I'm going to message you this, and this. I'm going to email the invoice to this email. Once that's started, I can get rolling with, the progress report. Just set expectations. When are you going to message them? What are you going to message them? What do you need them to do before you can get started? Let them know all of that before they get off the call, because the second they're off the call and the second they pay the invoice, the buyer's remorse begins. Okay, so we want to set expectations. Let them feel secure. Let them know what's coming, because most people, they're scared of the unknown. Okay, and if you've just risked and invested a couple thousand, the unknown is the last thing you want. All right, so once we're finishing the sales call, set expectations. Okay, let them know what to expect, when to expect it, and how to move forward. Okay, next steps essentially. Now from there, we've got to start reversing the buyer's remorse. Okay, so the way I do this is with a progress report. So it could be just a Google Doc, but it's week one, I'm going to be working on this, and this. Here's what I need from you. Maybe it's like access to accounts. Maybe it's, some research docs, whatever it is you need for them. I include that in the progress report. But I also say in week one, I'm going to be working on X, Y, and Z. I'm expecting it to take me around a week. And by week two, I'm going to be working on da, da, da. At the end of each week, you can add little ticks to your progress report. You can send it back over to the client. You can show them the impact, show them the progress. And again, it's just reversing that buyer's remorse. Now, again, we want to create a good experience when they buy from you. Think about the best brands that you go and buy from. When you buy an iPhone, the buying experience is incredible. You slide the box off, you like pull the iPhone out, it's looking all fresh, you peel the plastic off. Like the whole experience around buying an iPhone is incredible, especially compared to other phones. And so how can we like mirror that for our business? How do you want someone to feel when they go through your sales process? We want to congratulate them. We want them to feel like they've just made a pivotal moment in their life, that their business is about to transform. Okay, so we want this to be a seamless experience that tells them that they're dealing with a professional. And if you've got no onboarding, that's the first thing that's going to tell them that they're not dealing with a professional. Okay, so let's create a good buyer's experience. The next thing here, and if you can read that, fair play, because I can't even read that, but it just says communication. Okay, because you want to set up clear communication channels from the get-go. So again, they've got clear expectations of when they can message you, how long you're going to reply, where they can message you. If they need to get hold of you for whatever reason, we need clear communication. All right, now before we get into more of basically how to make this, the onboarding work the right way, I just want to go over a little bit of mindset and how you basically want to be thinking with the onboarding, because we want you to become a complement to a business. You never want to be a headache. And every touch point someone has with you is showcasing and reflecting what it's like to use your service. So make sure those touch points are complementing the business. Never add to someone's to-do list. Never become a headache. You want to always come with solutions, okay? Complement the business. Ask team members, how can I make your life easier? Every time I sign a new client, I book one-on-ones with every team member that I'm going to be working closely with. And I say, what does success look like to you? What can I do to make your life easier? What can I do to drive more results for your department? And trust me, they love this, because not only are you doing all the right things to combat buyer's remorse, but you're doing all of the right things for the future as well. Okay, now a good thinking to adopt here, and something that I got from one of my old mentors was the 10-80-10 approach and the thinking, right? So the 10 and the 10 is the start and the end of the project. The 80 is the middle. So these are the things you can ask for. Okay, you want to ask for maybe 10% of the things you need at the start, because you don't want to come in and ask for paragraphs of big to-do lists and this, that, and whatever. In the middle, sure, there's going to be work we need to do, that the client needs to do. They're going to have to review your work, they're going to have to jump on calls, there's going to be stuff they need to do. But on your onboarding and on your offboarding, we want to make that as small as possible, minimize everything you need from the client side, make it as simple and easy and as efficient as possible, so that they just have a good experience working with you from the get-go. Okay, so complement that business, never become a headache. We want to set expectations, combat that buyer's remorse by complementing the business, letting them know what to expect, having clear communications, and essentially not being that, annoying person that comes in and adds to their to-do list and tells this business owner, fuck, I've now got an extra person to manage, because that's the last thing we want to do. All right, now we're in the flow. All right, the business, you understand the business, you've been onboarded, you're inside the Slack, you've set up your clear communication channels, you're working on your progress report. I want you to identify the lowest hanging fruit. And the reason being is because the best way to reverse buyer's remorse is to create quick wins. Because all this is going to do is just basically confirm to the client that they've made the right decision. It's going to reverse the buyer's remorse, and it's going to put you in a position to basically show that you're doing the right job. Okay, so what is the low hanging fruit? What can you attack straight away to show your impact? And from there, I just want you to over deliver. So if there's a few of these, even if they're outside of the scope or beyond your brief, just over deliver, over deliver, over deliver. So that might be with extra work. If you're an email list manager, give subject line variations, give extra like things to A B test. If you're a social media manager, don't just do the first week worth of work, do the first 2 weeks. You know what you're going to post, when you're going to post it, and you're good for the next 2 weeks. So basically you can over deliver with work, you can over deliver with time. There's a bunch of ways you can over deliver, but essentially just go beyond the brief to, again, show that they've found the right person, and so we can reverse this buyer's remorse. Now from here, the only other thing to do is just be forward thinking. Don't just be thinking in the now. We want to show clients that they've made the right decision by hiring an expert that can remove this thinking for them and think towards the future and always spot things before they're going to happen. Essentially, you want to be this like marketing wizard with a crystal ball that they can rely on to predict the future, because they're never going to get rid of that motherfucker. I can promise you that. All right. So this is how you onboard someone the right way. This is how we can set expectations, reverse buyer's remorse, and set yourself up to retain business for much longer than just a year. This is how you create a good, consistent standard of living, so you and your family can rely on your income to actually have a great life. Now, I build this for all of my personal one-on-one clients who do this together and make sure that they've got everything they need to onboard clients and retain them for 12 months plus. So if you want to jump on a quick 15-minute call, no pressure either way, just to see if we can get this built for you and see if there's any other areas of your copywriting business that may be hurting you, then just check out the link in the description. Feel free to get booked in and we can see if we can get this built for you. But other than that, hit like, hit subscribe, and take care, because I'll catch you in the next one.